Welcome to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Jayden Sullivan has left the Fiery Dragons and heading to the West Tigers. Is it a good signing, a 4-year contract? Is he the saviour that's going to make West Tigers turn it around in 2024? A lot of people will say yes and some will say no. The Cowboys season is in absolute tatters after getting demolished by the Sharkies. They are needing some big improvement. They have to win their last 2 games to make the finals. Are they gonskis? The Warriors have to keep winning because the Sharks and Storm are coming, biting at their heels for the top 4. The Manly game is a danger game. Hynes is back, baby. And Hynes, can he turn it around and let Sharks go all the way to the grand final? And Luke Brooks lets out a bit of steam as he's about to leave the Tigers. And why? What was the final straw that let him go? Here we go, the Barry Charles Footy Show, right here, right now. Yes, Jayden Sullivan. What's happening there, folks? He's absolutely signed up for 4 years. At least they've signed someone. But really, it's going to be an interesting couple of pre-season and then into the season if Jayden Sullivan can turn this around. Obviously, no Adam Dewey for most of next season as well. It's going to be it could be a long season again for the Tigers unless they really turn it around. Benji's got to get belief into these players. He's got to get belief, and as well as he's got to employ some good assistant coaches around him if they are going to turn it around, because they've got a team that is good enough to be fringe top 8 material. Well, if you look at the forward pack with Bateman and Clemmer at their best, this is at their best. Stefano, Api Coruscant. I mean, they've got a very good team here that they can really develop. Sean Bloor, there's enough talent in this team to do something, but it's up to them if they want to continue to improve the Tigers, and really it's been dreadful for them in a long time. And does the CEO have to go out the door for this to happen? I think so, but obviously nothing's been doing there. It seems to be the boys club there. Nothing changes there at the Tigers apart from the coach. Yes, the Cowboys. What's happening here with the Cowboys? They absolutely got dusted up yesterday in front of their home crowd. Jason Tamalolo's 250th game. They couldn't get up for that. They couldn't get up for James Tomo retiring. Their season is done. I'm telling you now, the season is out the door. The only saving grace could be if Penrith rest their players in the final round. Now, that's a big question for Penrith, because I don't think the Broncos are going to lose a game looking the way they've finished. It's possible, but the way they have played. So do they want to risk losing the minor premiership top spot? Do they really care? Maybe they want to play the Warriors or whoever's going to be food. It's going to be an interesting finish to the season here if they rest players. That's the only way I can see the Cowboys sneaking home. If they rest Luai, Cleary, Leota, they rest a lot of players in their final round. That's what they'll be hoping for. But I wouldn't be surprised if Penrith rest some players next week. But it's going to be an interesting side for the Cowboys. But basically, they have to win both their games. They should beat the Dolphins, and then Penrith. Cowboys are done for the season for you Cowboys fans. Yes, the Warriors have to keep winning. They are in trouble. They need to really just kick into another gear. They've been down the last few weeks. They really need to go to another level. And this is the start, because a lot of people are tipping Manly for an upset here. Cherry Evans, Schuster, I believe, is going to go to second row with Jack Arthur to start. This is this is a game the Warriors need to make a statement. If the Warriors can give Manly a hiding, then boom, it could set them off for the rest of the finals campaign. But if they lose and start to go a little bit backwards, it could get a little bit shaky for Warriors fans out there. The Warriors have more to play for. I mean, Manly's thinking they're still a hope of winning all 3 of their last 3 games, which is still a possibility. If they can win all 3, they'll get there. So. But I can't see that happening. Hynes, yes, Hynes, absolutely bouncing back to form, proving all the critics wrong. He is delivering the Sharks into the finals. Now, but where are they going to end up? Can they end up in the top 4? Or are they going to stay in the 5th to 6th range? Well, where they are now, they're probably going to end up 5th or 6th anyway because of the wins. The other teams are not going to really rock it up. Depending on how the Rabbitohs go, if the Rabbitohs beat the Knights, then Rabbitohs come into contention. But with the Rabbitohs, they've already had an extra game, so they're getting a bye, but the other teams have a chance to keep winning. But the Rabbitohs, this is a big, they need to win their game. But the Sharks, have they turned it around? Can they go all the way to the Premiership land? No, not for me. I still think defensively they're not good enough against the top sides. But it depends. Depends on where the draw lands for them. You could argue they could make a preliminary final. Because if they come 5th, they're gonna probably play someone like the Knights, more than likely, and you would say they'll beat the Knights. But if they have to play someone like the Rabbitohs, or the Raiders, which is a possibility as well. They could play Raiders as well, with the way everything's going. Raiders could get 8th as well, because they might only win one more game, assuming they beat the Bulldogs this weekend. The Raiders could end up just sneaking into the finals in that 8th spot because of a few upsets over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, to me, remember what Gus Gould said about the Cowboys? They're going to be the one that could beat Penrith. Well, they're not even going to make the finals, baby. Yes, Gus Gould absolutely got that wrong. But big game, Roosters, Parramatta, especially for Parramatta. Parramatta are still a sneaky hope to make the finals, but they have to win. The Roosters obviously have to win as well, but Roosters are least likely, but they could sneak. Now, this is for Roosters fans. I'll give you some clean hope here. This is where you need it to happen. For the Roosters, the Roosters can get to 13 wins. Okay, the same as the Raiders. So say the Raiders beat the Bulldogs and lose their last 2, Roosters will leapfrog the Raiders on for and against. They add Knights. If they can only get to 12.5 wins, they go ahead of them. The Cowboys now only get 12 wins, and they can go. So there is a realistic chance that the Roosters could get into the top 8, but they have to win all 3 games. Actually, to be honest, if they win all 3 games, they'll make the top 8, because I think 13's going to do it. And the only way they won't is if the Raiders can snack another win somewhere. But I think that's where they can knock someone out. For the Roosters for them, but they could be all fish and chip paper after this weekend if they don't beat Parramatta, because they're expected to beat Parramatta with Mitchell Moses out. But it's going to be a big game there. Well, Brooksy decides to come out. I don't know why, with a few rounds to go. When do you think he'd come out? When you done your signing? But he believes that the final straw was an ultimatum that you got to re-signed by this date, the deadline, made him his final decision. That's a lot of crock, if you ask me. He already made his decision. It's going to be interesting how he goes with Daly Cherry Evans next season. Are they actually going to gel? Going to be interesting because they're probably similar type of players. So some Manly fans are probably scratching their head why they would sign Luke Brooks. I know Luke Brooks is a handy player, but is he going to just play 6? Because he's very off the cuff, like Cherry Evans. They're both off the cuff players. Do they need more direction, Manly? That's probably another question you could say. Even though Manly, Cherry Evans he does a good 40-20 kicking game and that, but his best playing is when he's doing his running game. So it's going to be an interesting time ahead for Manly fans if that combination is going to work. I have a feeling it's not going to work. I could be proved wrong. Maybe he just needed a leader outside him and he really going to flourish, Luke Brooks. But it's going to be an interesting time ahead for them. And obviously, he doesn't know who's running the club, who's making the decisions. So the Tigers really need to, I don't know how they're going to do it, because they're obviously in love with Justin Pascoe. I don't know what it is. But if you keep failing to make the finals, something has to give up top. You got to go on your sword and go, hey, I haven't made the right decisions. We need to hit the road. But for some reason, they continue to go on them. But we'll see if that changes, because I have a funny feeling something is in the pipeworks, that there will be a change coming at the Tigers, because enough's enough for West Tigers fans. The Bellman and the West Board need to get on top of things and get this going. Anyway, that's the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your friends, and enjoy the footy on the weekend.